In the winter of 1980, two college freshmen were abducted and killed near Sacramento, California. That case became known as the Sweetheart Murders. The killer left a clue at the crime scene. So why did it take 32 years to close his case? Troy Roberts has covered the story for the past 8 years. Here's a preview of his report for tomorrow night's 48 Hours.
It could happen to anyone. Any one of our children, any one of our family. A good, wonderful, kind person that you love could suddenly disappear, that you could never see them again.
Andrea Gonzalez still struggles every day to contain her grief over the loss of her sister Sabrina and Sabrina's boyfriend John Riggins in a savage double murder.
They had duct taped around their eyes and around their mouth, and they were dumped, just like trash.
Then Sacramento detective Carol Daly videotaped the crime scene.
Homicide case number 95336.
It was December 22nd, 1980.
I've just never been able to forget it.
Investigators were stunned, and so was the college town of Davis, California, where Sabrina and John were freshmen with promising futures.
She loved kids. She loved being with kids, working with kids. She wanted to be a physical therapist.
John was considering following in his father's footsteps. Dr. Richard Riggins was an orthopedic surgeon.
Do you ever think about what kind of man your son would have become?
I haven't given much thought to what he would have been as an adult. He's still been 18 years old and never really pushed it beyond that.
For more than a decade, police chased false leads. 4 suspects were arrested and faced the death penalty. But on the eve of their trial, the case fell apart for lack of evidence.
They framed me and almost got away with it. And that's an outrage!
As the case went on and on, I think we had lost hope.
But it turns out the key to solving the case was there all along. At the crime scene, the killer had left stains on a blanket, Sabrina's birthday gift to her sister Andrea. Those stains could now be tested for DNA, a forensic tool that didn't exist at the time of the murders.
All this time we've been waiting. The answer was there.
In 2002, 20 years after the murders, that DNA was run through a brand new database, and there was a cold hit, a match. But the families had to wait another 10 years before the suspected killer went on trial. The defense filed some 200 motions, dragging out the case.
How many people, how many years, how much effort does it take to put one horrible person away for life?
Troy Roberts joins us now at the table. This is the thing with these 48-hour previews, because now I want you to tell me the answer right now. Yeah. Boy, so why did it take 10 more years after they had that DNA hit?
Well,
to come up with a new suspect?
They had to wade through something like 200,000 documents, both the defense and prosecutors. They had this DNA hit, a cold hit, but it wasn't enough. They still had to build a case against this guy, and they finally got him.
Who was he?
His name is Richard Hirschfield, a sexual predator, a convicted rapist who was released from prison shortly before the murders.
They had other evidence besides the DNA?
Yes, his brother Joseph was questioned by police about these murders, and he committed suicide. Through carbon monoxide poisoning. And he left behind a note that read in part that I've been living with this horror for so many years, and that Richard, his brother, did commit these murders. So he helped convict his own brother from the grave.
And it wasn't one of the original 4 who was arrested. Well, I can't wait to see Saturday night. Thank you, Troy. You can see his full report, The Sweetheart Murders, on the season premiere of 48 Hours. That's tomorrow night at 10, 9 Central, right here on CBS.